show up to cheer for Amchi Mumbai. Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps. It's not between two teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players.
We could not have asked for a more dramatic way for this title weekend to kickstart. Last night, Taylor Barnard made the jump on Kimi Antonelli and headed through to the first corner, with the two drivers battling for the title right from the outset. It was a thriller of a race which didn't really involve a safety car until the bitter end. We ended up having a proper thrill fest under the lights around the W Hotel and around this picturesque Yas Marina circuit. Aidan Neate had yet more bad luck as he was pitched into a spin by Tim Tramnitz, who would later pick up a 10-second penalty for his troubles. And then the big one, Kimi Antonelli, a slightest of love taps into the back of Taylor Barnard, who would spin the car around and drop out of the points, where he remained. Antonelli would later get a 10-second penalty himself. The battles raged in the midfield, plenty of drivers trying to end their season with a good spectacle. And we had overtaking galore, great battles and duels. Michael Shin dueling away with Martinius Stenchorn. Despite contact, the Korean was not prepared to give way, and that would give him pole position for today's race. Giovanni Mascio then dropped out of the race with an engine failure, which brought out the safety car and knocked Kimi Antonelli out of the points completely. It was Mari Boyer who took the win from Sami Megatunith and Rafael Kamara. An amazing result for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP team, and they dominate the first race of the weekend. For Kimi Antonelli, he was very unhappy with the way things played out. Mari Boyer couldn't have been further from that dismay. So as the Spaniard Mari Boyer ended last night as the hero of the hour, we go into today's pair of races with the championship still to decide. There are still 34 points between Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Taylor Barnard, but now they will start outside the top 10, outside the points. If both drivers stay there, Antonelli wins the championship. Taylor Barnard has to get into 5th position at the worst, with Antonelli not scoring to keep the title fight alive to the last race of the season. What a spectacle. Hello everybody, Jake Sanson here, overlooking the Yas Marina circuit. This is a fabulous racetrack to go racing on. We are on the start-finish line of the support race paddock, which means we're on the other side of the starting grid to where Formula 1 usually kicks off, for instance. But it does give us an amazing first corner, that long flowing banked hairpin, which has about 3 different racing lines. And as a result of that, we're going to have a fantastic charge to the first corner, as we did yesterday. A thrilling battle awaits us in Yas Marina, not the least because Michael Shin and Nikola Tsolov will be on the front row of the starting grid. Before that though, how do the drivers in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship prepare for race action?
Obviously, before starting the race, we can...
Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps.
Play some paddle, maybe go running a bit. Just before putting the helmet, I used to make some stretchings and a proper warm-up to jump already hot and ready to make the sessions.
Sleep more, sleep earlier, wake up earlier and eat more.
Well, in my case, I do a lot of sim work, quite a lot of gym.
And then we also go through the data with our engineers to prep the weekend.
There was quite a few on board, so that was important, and then track work, obviously.
For race weekend, it's mostly physical training. I also do some mental training and some sim training when I'm at home as well.
But during the day, you sort of do a bit of stretching, some skipping, a bit of like reaction time, respots.
We have to take in account that here it's quite hot. Drinking is really important.
The weather changed a lot and also it's very hot, so yeah, it's, on the physical side it's hard, but also on the driving side it's hard. And until this point, we're managing everything really well.
Of course, it's still nice to have 6 weeks in a row of racing, so yeah, I like it.
So a fabulous battle awaits us here in this contest. 14th and 15th on the grid are the main title contenders. They've both got to try and charge their way back into the points to either finish the job or keep it going one race longer. However, a little bit of history on pole position. For Korea, it is Michael Shin on pole position. She's down on the grid with Feline Wang.
Hey, Michael, first pole position of the season. Are you confident to finish strong?
Yeah, I feel like if I do the right things, make all the apexes, get good exits, we have a good chance to get a good result here today.
Have a good race. 那刚刚我问到 Michael 呢，这也是他本赛季的第一个头位发车。他提到呢，如果他一切都做对了的话，他也会有一个好的结果。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. Short and sweet for Michael Shin. No doubt he is feeling the pressure going into this one. It's going to be a really exciting battle as the contenders gear up. But on the front row of the grid alongside Michael Shin is the Bulgarian lion himself, Nikola Tsolov, the Alpine Academy youngster who is in the R&B racing squad for this final race weekend of the season. Very distinctive in the black and green machine on the front row of the starting grid. The first time we've seen it all season long, but really exciting to see what he can do from that position on the starting grid. Just behind him is Kirill Smal, who has already had a pole position this season. He took one at Dubai, of course, and now he is here ready to go for battle once again. In fact, actually, he took a pole position at Kuwait rather than Dubai. See, I can correct myself pretty quickly. Nikhil Bora, fourth position on the grid, alongside Kirill Smal on the second row, and already a race winner this year, so Nikhil Bora is the best placed to pick up another victory. But then Pepe Marti, who won from a reverse grid pole in race 2 at Dubai last week, also has a chance for the win. And don't forget, Joshua Dufek won on the road in Kuwait before it was taken away from him on a technicality. Lorenzo Flusha and Rafael Camara are lining up on the fourth row of the grid together, ironically in positions 7 and 8 as car numbers 7 and 8. So they will be together, and they are battling, of course, for third position in the Drivers' Championship. Ninth on the grid is Sami Megatuniv, and 10th is Mari Boya. So, down on the starting grid, we're going to talk with the man who's trying to keep his championship hopes alive, Taylor Barnard from the middle of the grid. What can he do from 13th on the starting grid? Let's find out.
So, Taylor, after yesterday's incident, and how confident are you to have a good race here today?
Of course, everyone saw what happened. There was not really much I could do. The only thing I can do now is just focus on my race and do the best that we can from where we are.
Have a good race. 那刚刚呢，我是问到他，昨天呢，因为他和 Kimi 呢发生了意外，他提到呢，他现在呢就是要做好自己，希望能有一场好的比赛。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. Taylor Barnard starting this race from 13th on the grid compared to Andrea Kimi Antonelli in 15th on the starting grid, which already gives Taylor Barnard a better chance of getting into the points today in this second race than Andrea Kimi Antonelli does. If neither scores points, the championship is over and Andrea Kimi Antonelli wins the title. If Taylor Barnard can get into the points and finish as high as 5th with Antonelli not scoring, the championship goes down to the season finale later this afternoon. I managed to catch up with Andrea Kimi Antonelli this morning. He was looking pretty sheepish, bless him. He said, "That's not the way I wanted to win the title at all. I had no intention of going that close to him at all." Very believable. He's a very honourable young man, is Andrea Kimi Antonelli, as is Taylor Barnard. One of those racing incidents. You've got to remember these guys are between the ages of 16 and 19 on average, and they are still learning on the job. This is a much tougher sport than the worlds of soccer, rugby, cricket, tennis, where all of their teenage matches are not televised to the world. They are not broadcast to the nations around the globe. This sport, they totally are. So they're under pressure from the moment they step into a racing car. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 15th on the starting grid. This could be the race where he becomes champion. In fact, that is the most likely of the scenarios that will play out today in race 2. But don't tell Taylor Barnard that it's likely he's going to lose the championship in race 2. He doesn't want to hear it. He has got such a bee in his bonnet. He will charge as hard up the field as he can go to try and keep this race title alive. 28 minutes plus 1 lap around this Yas Marina circuit, and so many variables. We've also got a couple of drivers trying to charge their way from the very back of the grid. Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neat, who ended up out of the race yesterday. So that could be a very interesting dynamic as well. Lots of overtaking. Almost a dead cert in this race, particularly because it is the reverse grid race. And Michael Shin in the Prema from pole position, the Korean driver, is in the lead. 28 minutes plus 1 lap around this Yas Marina circuit, and so many variables. We've also got a couple of drivers trying to charge their way from the very back of the grid. Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neat, who ended up out of the race yesterday. So that could be a very interesting dynamic as well. Lots of overtaking. Almost a dead cert in this race, particularly because it is the reverse grid race. And Michael Shin in the Prema from pole position, the Korean driver, definitely in unfamiliar territory as he goes from pole position. He drove beautifully to thwart the attentions of Martini Stenshorn, who will start from 14th on the grid. That's how different their fortunes were in the end. Shin able to beat the Norwegian in their battle last night, and as a result, Michael Shin gets pole position. Nikola Tsolov lines up second on the grid. It was thought at one stage he would be on pole position, but then once the penalties were applied to other drivers, he dropped to second, but was elevated to 9th place in race 1, so he scores 2 points on his Formula Regional Middle East debut, and that is a very fair return for his efforts. In fact, I'm fairly certain he is the only driver for the R&B race team this year to have scored a championship point. A very impressive performance from him and the team, as they've been able to turn their fortunes around in the latter stages of the season. The grid is being cleared now, so a great opportunity knocking for the contenders as they gear themselves up ready for an exciting run. But my goodness me, has it been an exciting battle for all of the contenders as they duel up ready for action. Every single team has now scored points in the 2023 Formula Regional Middle East Championship. The only one we were waiting to was the Chinese team R&B Racing, but courtesy of Nikola Tsolov, they now have 2 points. And if Nikola Tsolov gets a good start, they could even pick up a win. That would be a magnificent achievement at the end of a very busy season. So the lights are on, but they will change to green. They do so now, and we're going around for the formation lap. Judgment Day. Andrea Kimi Antonelli versus Taylor Barnard. 34 points between them, with 50 points remaining to score. It could end in today's race. It certainly could end in this morning's race. It's got to end at some point today. But what a way to end it. Right down to the wire. Michael Shin and Nikola Tsolov will line up on the front row of the starting grid. On row 2, it is Kidil Smal for Mumbai Falcons and Nikhil Bora, already a race winner this year. Pepe Marti, P5 on the starting grid alongside Joshua Dufek in P6. Then in 7th position, it is Lorenzo Flusha, who lines up beside his teammate and rival, Rafael Camara from Brazil. 9th on the grid is Sami Megatunif alongside his race-winning teammate from yesterday, Mari Boya. 11th on the grid is Sebastian Montoya for the High-Tech Grand Prix team alongside Francis Owen Tanjabelu. 13th on the grid is Taylor Barnard, charging back. Martini Stenshorn alongside him. Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the verge of the title alongside Taz and Vavazak in 16th. 17th for Levi Ravej. 18th for Brad Benavides as they share row 9. Then Han Shin-Yu and Niels Kuhlen. R&B versus Pinnacle to round out the top 20. Tim Thrymnitz all the way down in 21st alongside Daniel Mavlyutov. 23rd for Tang Roabin alongside his teammate Giovanni Mascio. And on the very back row of the grid, Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neat, who will not be staying that far down for long. An absolute spectacle awaits us now. Goodness knows what is going to unfold in this race. Whatever happens, Taylor Barnard has to get to 5th position with Antonelli not scoring to keep his title dreams alive. But even in race 2 later, that's going to be tough because Andrea Kimi Antonelli will start that race from 2nd. Taylor Barnard from P6, I do believe. It's a long shot, but if ever anybody wanted to back a long shot, you should back Taylor Barnard. He has every chance of turning this title fight around. He'll have the psychological edge, knowing that he was blameless in the incident. Antonelli will feel the guilt, and that could weigh on his mind a little bit going into this race. But if they're racing drivers, they'll shake it all off. They'll focus on their objectives. But fascinating that these 16, 17, 18 and 19-year-olds are really feeling the weight of expectation, the tension and the pressure. Michael Shin and Nikola Tsolov will take up their positions on the front row of the starting grid. Michael Shin of Prema alongside Nikola Tsolov of R&B. This has got drama and the majesty of competition written all over it. This is going to be a sensational situation. Both of the title contenders are outside the points. They could be caught by a fairly decent chunk here by Camara and Flusha. They'll not be overtaken. There's not enough points left to score this season to be overtaken, but they certainly could reel them in. And watch for Mari Boya. He gained a massive amount of ground yesterday night. And if he scores well in these 2 races, Mari Boya could actually move into 3rd position in the Drivers' Championship. It's definitely feasible. So many things at stake at the end of a gripping season of Formula Regional Middle East, the first ever championship of this competition. And who is going to be the first ever champion? It's either going to be the Italian Stallion or the British Bulldog, Andrea Kimi Antonelli or Taylor Barnard. The final few cars into position on the starting grid. And we wait for the green flag at the back of the grid, which will fly now. And it's going to be Michael Shin for Prema on the left of your screen in pole. Nicolas Solov on the right of your screen in second. Neither driver has been on the front row of a Formula Regional Middle East race before. Is either of them going to get the win? Let's find out. A good start from Shin. It looks like Barnard didn't move. Barnard didn't move, and now he's dropped to the back. That's disastrous for Taylor Barnard. Oh my goodness. Just when he needed the perfect start, it's all gone wrong. And now Solov follows Michael Shin through the first hairpin into third position. That's one of them on by Falcons. That's got to be Kiddo Smal as he runs in front of Bora and Marti. And as the field works its way through on the first lap, that is going to be an aggressive move around the outside from Marti to take on Kiddo Smal for third. And he's got it. Lovely from Pepe Marti. Marti gets himself into third position in fine style there. Smal in front of Nikhil Bora still. As the field works its way through, there's already been a lot of big moments in this weekend, but Taylor Barnard getting slow away off the grid is the worst possible scenario for him. So the field continues on its way through, but Michael Shin leads. Second place for Nicolas Solov. As the field works its way through, is that Taylor Barnard still trying to make up places in the tail end of the field? I think it is. But that is the worst possible way for Taylor Barnard to kickstart his championship aspirations. Slow away from the grid and unable to make the inroads he wanted to. Devastating. Into the hairpin, Shin still leads Solov and Marti as they work their way onto the back straight. Here we go, Slipstream City here in Yas Marina. This is where the drivers can really start to make a big impression. We saw a couple of incidents on the first lap yesterday. We could well see them again today. But Michael Shin is doing a great job leading this race and trying to stretch away the Korean, hoping to get his first win of the campaign as Kamara duels wheel to wheel here with Sami Megatuniv. Kamara trying to shake off the Frenchman. Oh, there's problems further up. I think that's Solov going a little bit deep. And as a result, he's going to lose traction and ground. Smal has got past into second. And Piper Marti is going to get through into third. The tension and the pressure bubbles over a little for Nicolas Solov. And in fifth position, that is Nikhil Bora trying to shake off Josh Dufek and Lorenzo Flusha. And all six of them have just let Michael Shin run away and hide up front. And Nicolas Solov trying to shake off Nikhil Bora. I'm not going to lose any more places if I can help it, says Nicolas Solov. He holds on the inside line. Bora still trying to go the long way round. Solov is there. And up the inside, Josh Dufek now tries to take on Nikhil Bora. He can't commit to the overtake. But Taylor Barnard's sluggish start has dropped him all the way to 21st in front of Aidan Neat and Niels Kuhlen on the first lap. Even his teammate Nikita Bedrin beat him off the line. Disastrous for Taylor Barnard. Whoa! Nicolas Solov goes off on the curbs. Manages to recover it. As they get onto the Grand Prix main straight, it is Michael Shin with a decent advantage over Kiddo Smal. And Michael Shin is absolutely in heaven's paradise right now. Got a lead of a second and a half over Kiddo Smal. As round the outside, that's Antonelli going wheel to wheel with Martini Estenshorn. Antonelli moving up to 11th place if he finishes off this move. And he's there. Antonelli just one place away from the points. The championship is looking almost won. Antonelli still trying to defend from Martini Estenshorn as he comes down the straight into the hairpin. Just got to keep it going. And onto the back straight. Neither driver in the points at the moment. Oh, that got a little bit close for comfort further back. Looked like Brad Benavidez going wheel to wheel with Tim Tramnitz there. No, sorry, that is the other two battlers. That's Interfuvazak and Levi Revej. So down to the braking zone, Montoya under some tricky manoeuvring from Sami Megatuniv, who's trying to go the long way round the outside. And a big lock-up from further back. And off the road, is that Antonelli missing his braking point? I think it was. I think that was Antonelli overcooking it. So a big battle there as they came through the final section, but Nicolas Solov trying to hang on in front of Josh Dufek. Kiddo Smal sets the fastest lap of the race to close up on Shin, but Solov is trying to go the long way round Josh Dufek. Tightening up, that's Nikhil Bora and Lorenzo Flusha trying to close in, and Nicolas Solov goes right off the road, manages to get back on again. Just intact behind Dufek and ahead of Flusha. They work their way through the W Hotel once again. Shin leads, Smal second, Marti third, Solov is just in fourth place, or at least he was. Now Dufek is up to fourth. Bora, Flusha, Kamara, Megatunif, Montoya, Antonelli, Stenshon and Boyer giving chase. Mari Boyer not having a great race this time. Down in 13th position ahead of his teammate Tanjavelu. Levi Revej still dueling away with Tramnitz and Infrafuvazak. And there is a battle coming up to the inside apex. That's Flusha going for Nikhil Bora. Job done. Nicely handled. And now Rafael Kamara will have his own look at Nikhil Bora. Still they duel away through the left, through the right, up the crest and down the drop. Approaching Ferrari World in the distance. It is a bit of a roller coaster, this section. Oh, and off into the curbs. That was a big airborne moment. That was one of the Mumbai Falcons going airborne. I think that might have been Antonelli. I think Antonelli just caught the curb at the wrong angle and had two wheels up in the air. Goodness me. So Antonelli keeps going, but that would have been a frightening moment for the Italian. I'm fairly certain that was Antonelli going up on two wheels as he drifted wide of the curves. Has he got any damage? So both the title contenders in trouble in this first race of the day. Kamara battling his way through and no more room to play with for Nikhil Bora. Oh, and a spin! Cars going everywhere. That is one of the Hyderabad Blackbirds. I think that was Owen Tanjavelu. So Tanjavelu spins it. Meanwhile, this is a battle further up. This is Marti versus Smal. Marti trying to go the long way round Kirill Smal at the first corner. Battling to take the lead if he can. Because whoever manages to get past and go after Michael Shin could win this race. Kirill Smal wants it to be him. Pepe Marti wants even more for it to be him. Antonelli closing up on Montoya. Look, Andrea Kimi Antonelli trying to go for the move on Sebastian Montoya now. Taking him a little bit longer than Antonelli would have hoped for. Stenshon's managed to get past both him and Montoya. And there is Mari Boyer, yesterday's race winner. Deja vu for Mari Boyer as he sits behind the rear wing of Andrea Kimi Antonelli, just like last night. And a bit of a lock-up there from Bedrin. We need to keep an eye on Nikita Bedrin in race 3. He'll be starting that race from pole position. But his DNF yesterday has kept him down at the back. Now, where is Taylor Barnard? He's up to 16th place, so he is charging. Taylor Barnard trying to make up as much ground as possible. He has not given up. Taylor Barnard refuses to quit. There's still a lot that can happen in this race. We've got 21 minutes plus the additional lap to go. No sign of a safety car yet, but there's still plenty of time for things to play out. A little bit of a look up the inside there from Tanjavelu, trying to get the move there on the... Oh, sorry, no, that's not Tanjavelu, is it? That is Mari Boyer, trying to get the move on the inside of Antonelli, behind Sebastian Montoya. Down the back straight. And I think Marti and Smal are going at it again. And Davide's trying to make his own bid. Michael Shin leads the race as they come across the line. Bit of a late braking there from Nikita Bedrin, and two cars going a little bit deep. That is Brad Benavidez dueling it out with Tazid Fubazak, I do believe. As they come off the turn, it's absolute skittles as they go down the main straight again. Fastest lap of the race comes in from Lorenzo Flusha. He gets a 151.8, the only driver in the whole race that has ducked under 152. So round the far side in the first corner, still drivers battling for position. This is the duel between Pepe Marti and Kirill Smal. Smal in second, Marti in third. Dufek is in fourth position, Solov is in fifth, being caught by Lorenzo Flusha. Still a great duel. Oh, and that's Giovanni Mascio again, just like yesterday. Big problems for Giovanni Mascio. Now, has he parked the car in a safe place? That's going to be the key factor. Solov, four-wheel drifting out of the right-hander before the main pit straight. Big lock-up there from Brad Benavidez as well. He's trying to get away from Aidan Neat. Everyone putting in a great show so far. I really hope that Giovanni Mascio has parked that car out of harm's way. We do not need a safety car right now. We need a green race complete. Michael Shin still doing a fantastic job. There is a stationary yellow flag coming into the hairpin. But is that going to be enough? I think that's where Mascio's parked the car, but he's parked it right offline. So hopefully we are not going to need to go to a safety car this time. And indeed, Mascio is down at the foot of this camera, so I think that should be okay. Michael Shin still leading. What a great job from the Korean. He has not had the same kind of karting pedigree and junior single-seater route that everybody else has. Marti dives in on the inside of Kirill Smal. Second position for the Spaniard, but it's not going to be enough on the exit. They're going to continue going wheel to wheel. Josh Dufek needs to stay hungry here. He's got a great chance. If these two end up getting a little bit loose, then Josh Dufek can pick up the pieces. Flusha's got past Solov behind them. Here they come. And Marty right around the outside of Kirill Smal. Second place is the Spaniards. Brilliant run. Dufek gets a little bit loose on the curve, trying to get on terms with Kirill Smal. But Pepe Marti into second position. Lovely job from the Spanish driver, the pinnacle contender who won race 2 in Dubai. Is now going to try and set off after Michael Shin, but he's got to make up 2 seconds on the Korean, who is not driving slowly at all. Why is Michael Shin at Prema? Many people will not have heard of him before this year. That's because he's not had the most conventional motor racing route. But Michael Shin is a proper talent, and now, out in front, the Korean is getting the chance to prove it. Smal in second, Marty in second now, because he's got past Kirill Smal. Then Dufek, Flusha, Solov, Bora, Megatuniv, Kamara and Stenshall. Those are the point scorers. Montoya is ahead of Antonelli. Then Revej, Boyer and Barnard. 15th place for the Brit. But he needs more than that. He needs to get into 5th position with Antonelli not scoring if this championship is going to continue. A crazy race again. Exactly what we wanted. We wanted action, we wanted thrills, we wanted a couple of spills with no major incidents to speak of. And we're certainly getting that here at Yas Marina. This is turning out to be the weekend of the season in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. And Michael Shin is hanging on in front of Kirill Smal and Pepe Marti. Through they come. And Michael Shin is doing a fabulous job. He's just posted, a spin! A spin! Now that is one of the... I think that's Sami Megatuniv. Sami Megatuniv's gone around in the final chicane. Now, again, the question is going to be, was there contact to force that? But Sami Megatuniv spins at the final chicane. Let's have a look at it. Was he assisted? He was! And that is Sami Megatuniv spinning around thanks to a Mumbai Falcon. They just can't keep away from their competitors this weekend. And I think that was Rafael Kamara. So there's a good chance that Rafael Kamara may end up getting a penalty now. And that's going to elevate his teammate, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, into the points. Well, big drama again. Michael Shin in front of Marti, Smal, Dufek, Flusha and Solov. A very solid run so far here in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. Nicolas Solov just trying to stay in touch with Lorenzo Flusha. But Flusha is definitely going to score better than Rafael Kamara in this one. There's Antonelli tucked up behind Sebastian Montoya. The battle between them is for 10th position. Michael Shin out front. It's looking pretty destitute for Taylor Barnard. The only way now he can be champion is if we get a safety car and if there's proper chaos in front of him. 14th place is not going to be enough to keep this championship fight alive, especially now that Antonelli is 3 places ahead of him. You have to give Taylor Barnard credit again for charging his way through from the back. His job not made easier by a difficult start, and he will never give up. That's the kind of fighting talk you're going to see from him in Formula 3 later this year, and we wish him the very best in his rookie campaign. And now Josh Dufek getting close to Kirill Smal. He wants a podium to finish off his very impressive season. Josh Dufek managed to get a win on the road earlier in the season. It was taken away from him, sadly, on a technicality. Nothing to do with his driving, nothing to do with his ability. But Dufek will really want to end this season on a high note, having shown to the world what he can do. Kirill Smal, still in only his 3rd race meeting in this car. He started the season in the F4 UAE Championship in the first round of the season at Dubai. He's the only driver to have made the jump from F4 UAE to Formula Regional in the same campaign season. And Kirill Smal in front of Josh Dufek, dueling away for 3rd position, these two. Then Flusha, Solov, Bora, Kamara, Stenshall and Sebastian Montoya. Those are the point scorers. Antonelli is ahead of Revej, 11th and 12th. Then Mari Boyer, Taylor Barnard, Nikita Bedrin, Taz and Vovozak. Brad Benavides is ahead of Aidan Neat, and then Han Shen-Yu and Niels Kuhlen. Tanja Velu has got going again, so too has Dan Mavlyutov. Car 61 and car 8 under investigation. That is Kamara and Megatuniv. As Megatuniv has fallen behind Mavlyutov and Tang. Tim Tramnitz has dropped to the back of the field, I do believe. In a separate incident, Mascio out of the race. And that's all she wrote. But it looks to me as though that investigation could lead to a bit of an issue for Rafael Camara. And that will benefit his teammate Antonelli, who could finish in the points after all. And that will secure the championship for the Italian stallion. 13 minutes plus the additional lap still to go. Plenty still to play out here in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship, second race of round 5. Kamara's getting a look on the inside of Nikhil Bora. He'll dive, he'll try and make the gap open up, and he's made it. Good move from Rafael Camara. Not easy to get that one done, but the Brazilian adamant that he's going to make the place up. Up to 7th he goes, Bora down to 8th. Stenshall is 9th, Montoya is 10th, Antonelli still in 11th. As long as he stays in front of Taylor Barnard, the championship is done. Doesn't matter where they finish, if he scores points or not. If he finishes ahead of Taylor Barnard, that is the championship won. It certainly looks that way at the moment. He is currently 2 places ahead of him because Barnard has managed to overtake Mari Boya for 13th. Antonelli still looking for a move on Montoya. Doesn't need to panic here. He doesn't need to do anything silly. Just stay behind Montoya, wait for a perfect opportunity. And that's the key word. You've got to wait for a perfect one. As Barnard and Boya have already settled their differences in this one. Up to 13th goes Barnard. In fact, it looks to me as though Barnard has actually lost the place to Boya again, thinking about it. So I think Boya has managed to get back through. Just to add insult to injury. Look at this man, though, up front. Michael Shin is just dancing his way to the victory. He has absolutely got the measure of Pepe Marti and Kirill Smal in this one. The gap has come down. It's come down from 2 seconds to 1.1. There's still time to go, but Michael Shin is driving exactly as he needs to. Just banging in those laps, keeping it steady and consistent. He did lose half a second to Marti on the last lap, and a 1/10 of a second to Kirill Smal. But when you consider that this man has had nowhere near the same level of driving experience as the other contenders in the field, Michael Shin has shown incredible tenacity and incredible talent. Pepe Marti is going to catch him a little bit more again as they come across the line. The gap between them is now just 7/10 of a second. But the Prema driver, Michael Shin, is doing everything he can to hang on to this victory. Oh, and that's Sebastian Montoya. Now, Montoya was dueling with Antonelli. What happened there? Antonelli up the inside, and they've touched for the 2nd race in a row. Antonelli tangles with someone, and this time it's Sebastian Montoya. Oh my word, the tension is just building with every single race we do. And now Barnard is closing up on Mari Boya to try and outfox him again. Antonelli falling into the clutches of Revej, Boya and Barnard. Well, does that mean Antonelli may pick up another penalty? Oh dear, oh dear. What a dramatic weekend this is turning out to be at Yas Marina. Sebastian Montoya is going to be absolutely enraged that he's lost a point at the hands of the potential champion. Bit of a run wide there from Dufek, as Josh Dufek is now dueling with his childhood friend Lorenzo Flusha. They raced each other in karts, they raced each other in F4, now they're racing each other in Formula Regional. Looks as though these two are going to go up the ladder of motorsport together. I can remember a fabulous day at Angeville in 2019 when the two of them were finishing a fabulous weekend in the karting European Championship. Why don't you come and have a play on the rental karts with us, Jake? Go on then. They made mincemeat of me. Fabulous pair, a wonderful couple of racing drivers that hopefully are going to go all the way to the top. The Swiss and the Spaniard. And I can tell you that the incident is under investigation between cars 12 and 55. That is Antonelli and Montoya. So a fascinating scenario. There are investigations, but there are no penalties issued so far to anyone. But Michael Shin has got problems. Pepe Marti is all over the back of him. Pepe Marti, who took the victory at Dubai last week in race 2, is hoping to do it again. Michael Shin just trying to stay in front of Pepe Marti and hold on for the win. Still a lot of things could play out here. We have 8 minutes and a half plus the additional lap. Pepe Marti is just taking his time. He's got time to get past Michael Shin. He doesn't have to rush this. And Michael Shin is doing his best. Right, 10 seconds penalty has been added to car number 8. That's Rafael Kamara for causing a collision. So that's going to drop Kamara down to 15th place, out of the points. That's going to elevate Bora to 7th, Stenshorn to 8th, Antonelli to 9th, and Revej to 10th. So Kamara has been given a penalty for causing a collision with Sami Megatunev. And Sami Megatunev has come into the pits to retire, I can tell you. So his race ended as a result of the damage caused by that incident. And Kamara, sadly, has been given a 10-second penalty. That means he is unlikely, but not impossible, to score points. Marti all over the back of Michael Shin. And a 10-second penalty for Antonelli for causing the collision with Sebastian Montoya. I think that was inevitable. But Antonelli gets the same penalty. Here comes Pepe Marti, trying to get his move on Michael Shin. They go side by side in the braking zone. Marti trying to outbrake Shin. Shin's trying to hold on to it and move to cover. Lovely from Michael Shin. Good aggression from Pepe Marti, but good defensive tactics from the primer of Michael Shin. Shin is going to try and hold this. Marti's going to get alongside. Shin's going to send him the long way round. Side by side, and Marti's going to beat into the braking zone of this rate. Shin goes longer on the brakes. No, you don't. I'm going to win this, says Michael Shin. And he leaves Pepe Marti with no room. Marti goes airborne. Marti gets back in behind Shin, and here comes Kirill Smal. It's going to be a three-way victory battle now. Shin is determined. I am not going to give up this victory now. Look at this. Airtime. Pepe Marti, that would have hurt as well. That'll be sore when he gets out of the car later. But Michael Shin is hanging on to this victory by a thread. 6.5 minutes to go. And now Kirill Smal has a chance to take on Pepe Marti. Andrea Kimi Antonelli has just set the fastest lap of the race, but it's academic. He's going to lose that 10th place. He's going to get a 10-second penalty added to his time. But a collision with Sebastian Montoya. And that's going to elevate Levi Revej to 10th place. And Taylor Barnard, ironically, will move up to 11th. 1 place away from the points. I told you, this isn't over yet, folks. It's not done. It's a mammoth task to ask Taylor Barnard to finish in 5th place at this rate. But this is Formula Regional Middle East. Anything could happen. Shin, Marti and Smal battling for the victory. If these three end up tangling, all bets are off. Kamara's got a penalty coming. So too has Antonelli. So with the pair of them having their penalties added, actually Revej is in 9th place on aggregate. Taylor Barnard is in 10th. So he's going to score a point, and Antonelli isn't. Now, if Barnard can make up 5 more places before the end, in the last 5.5 minutes plus the additional lap, the championship goes down to the final race of the season. Marti's having another go at Shin, trying to dive for the inside. Shin is wise to it. Marti trying to go the long way round. I'm not going on that curve again, thinks Marti, so he tucks back in behind him this time. But he knows that Michael Shin is going to run him there if he stays to the outside line at turn 1, so he backs in behind him again. Kirill Smal just keeping a watching brief. Marti's going to have to get creative to get past Michael Shin by the look of it. But the Korean in the Prema, driving beautifully to hang on to this win. Marti giving it everything he's got. He knows in his mind that he's the faster driver. But you've got to make a clean pass. You can't just nerf him out of the way. Whoa, Kirill Smal takes to the curves. Dufek in 4th. Flusha, Solov. Then it'll be Bora and Stenshorn ahead of Revej and Barnard, because Kamara and Antonelli, the 2 Mumbai Falcons drivers, will both take a 10-second penalty post-race. 4.5 minutes left. Time is ticking down for Taylor Barnard's championship aspirations. Got to keep pushing. Goodness knows where he would have finished had he got a clean start. He could have done this. But Shin, Marti, Smal, Dufek and Flusha, and then Nikola Solov, the Bulgarian Lion. There is proper tension in the air. There is Kamara, right on the back of Nikola Solov, trying to make his bid. There's a battle for the win, a battle for 4th, a battle for 6th, and a battle for 8th. Solov trying to defend, moves to cover from Kamara. Kamara's got a 10-second penalty coming his way. but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to get past Solov anyway. Solov goes long on the brakes. A lock up in front of them, as Dufek and Flusha are still battling. And that's Marti in the lead. Marti's got through past Shin. So Pepe Marti has taken the lead here in front of Michael Shin. Shin is trying to get back on terms in the slipstream, but there's not a lot that he can do about this. Marti has got through. He's proven to be the faster driver, and he's managed to take the lead away. It was a valiant effort from Michael Shin, but now Kirill Smal is going to be on him as well. Kirill Smal will try and make his move on Michael Shin. Shin is defending into the W Hotel complex. Through the right, through the left, and into the second left of the complex. Michael Shin has done everything he can to hold on to the lead. And there's a car stationary off to the left there. That looks like Tim Tramnitz. I think Tim Tramnitz has parked the car. So it's stationary yellows. He's been very wise there, and he's parked the car to the inside line by the marshal post. So that can be covered off with a yellow flag, I think. Nikola Solov has been passed by Rafael Kamara. Tim Tramnitz's car, as you saw there, is stationary, but I don't think that should trigger a safety car. If it does, then it really is championship game over, no matter what happens. And in the last 2.5 minutes, plus the additional lap, here is Tim Tramnitz, just looks like the engine just expiring, basically. So he decides to pull it off. And then side by side, Shin covering Kirill Smal. He had a go on the inside line there, but Kirill Smal, third position. He cannot quite get past Michael Shin. Watch for Dufek and Flusha. We're going to look at it again. Big lunge from Kirill Smal. Locks up. Just about runs wheels with Michael Shin. But that Prema is absolutely indestructible. Michael Shin, he took a bit of bashing from Martin Estenshon last night and still made it home in P10. Michael Shin desperately wants to be on the podium. If he can't win, he'll have to cope with second. 1.5 minutes still remaining, plus the additional lap. But Pepe Marti is looking good here in front of Michael Shin and Kirill Smal. Then Josh Dufek and Lorenzo Flusha. Rafael Kamara in 6th, but he'll take a 10-second penalty. He'll drop outside the points. So too will Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who's currently 10th on the road. So he'll drop down to about 16th, I would think. And that's going to elevate Revej and Barnard to the points. Up the inside! Smal goes for it on Shin. No chance. Try something else, says the Korean. I am going to stick to my line like glue. An excellent run. 1 minute remains. Shin trying to hang on. Smal is there. In third position, edging for a look. Dufek, Flusha, Kamara. Fascinating challenge so far. Can Kirill Smal get second place away from Michael Shin? We are running out of seconds in this race now. Are we going to get 2 laps to go at the end of this lap, or just 1? It all depends on when Pepe Marti crosses the line. Taylor Barnard is praying for a miracle right now, and I don't think it's going to come. Shin in 2nd, Smal in 3rd. Dufek moves to cover to keep Lorenzo Flusha behind him in 5th position. 15 seconds left of this race, plus the additional lap. And I don't think Pepe Marti is going to be able to start a penultimate lap. This is going to be the penultimate lap. A great run from the Spaniard. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Pepe Marti is about to start the final lap of this race. And what is effectively going to be the final lap of the championship battle. Flusha still trying to get past Dufek. He gets alongside him a little bit out of the final turn. He's not bowing out. He's not backing down. Dufek and Flusha still dueling away down to the first corner. And Flusha is on the inside line. Not a lot Dufek can do to keep him back now. He decides to go slow in and fast out. Flusha gets the inside line, but then drifts wide. Dufek gets him back. Street smart from Josh Dufek as Flusha goes airborne this time. Joshua Dufek outsmarts Lorenzo Flusha through turn 1. Magic from the Swiss. A big slide there from Michael Shin. He is working those tyres to the edge of their ability. Let's look again. Lorenzo Flusha auditioning for the Emirates Airways as he goes 2 wheels on the air and 2 on the deck. Kirill Smal, his teammate, is running close there in 3rd position behind Michael Shin. And I think Shin may just have done enough here to hang on to 2nd place. There will be penalties for Kamara and Antonelli in the top 10. That will elevate Revege and Barnard to the points. But crucially for Taylor Barnard, he won't score enough points to keep this championship fight alive. He'll be ruining his start because it could well have been the catalyst that cost him the title. A big launch from Kirill Smal that was never ever going to work in a million billion years. He was just hoping that Michael Shin would panic and hit the brakes at the wrong moment and miss the corner. Not going to happen. It's been such a clean run from Michael Shin in the Prema. He couldn't quite keep Pepe Marti back, but he's definitely been able to keep Kirill Smal at bay. A great run from the Korean in the Prema, a worthy drive, but up front for the second time in as many weeks, race 2 is going to be won by the Spanish driver Pepe Marti for Pinnacle. He wins in fine style. Shin is second, Kirill Smal is third, from Dufek and Lucia. Kamara will take a penalty. Solov will be elevated to 6th in front of Bora, Stenshorn, Revege and Barnard. Antonelli will take a penalty, but it doesn't matter. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is the champion of Formula Regional Middle East 2023. What a dramatic end to the season. Neither driver in the championship fight able to score better than 10th place in the first 2 races of the season. And there is actually a report, an investigation going on between Levi Revege and Taylor Barnard. Levi Revege dropped down the order on the final lap, I'm told, to 20th place. So there is an incident between Barnard and Revege under investigation. It looks as though Barnard may get a penalty. But Pepe Marti can celebrate a brilliant victory to back up the one he took a week ago. And that will give him so much confidence heading into Formula 3 later in the season. A great, great season campaign for Pepe Marti. And he will be so ecstatic with that race drive. Had to charge his way through to get the job done as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote for the Formula Regional Middle East Championship title fight. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is the champion in car number 12. Pepe Marti, though, is the winner of a thrilling, thrilling race. An excellent run. Michael Shin, though, for me, driver of the day. With so much pressure on his shoulders. Yes, he lost the win to Pepe Marti, but I think that was fairly inevitable. He had so much pressure on his shoulders from Kirill Smal, however. He was not going to lose that second place. And a fabulous, composed, mature run. Pepe Marti enjoying the moment, soaking it in. I'd love to see Andrea Kimi Antonelli in this moment, because of course the Italian stallion is now the champion. He cannot be caught by Taylor Barnard. It's been a great season between the two of them. They've both had their wins, they've both had their brilliant performances, they've both had their mistakes and their errors. Both of them deserve to win the championship title in 2023, but only one of them can, and on this occasion it is Andrea Kimi Antonelli. What a great run this season. I wonder if we're going to get to see him as he comes into the pits to celebrate. And that's all the titles swept up in Formula Regional Middle East. Is that Andrea Kimi Antonelli coming in? Yes, it is. And he is punching the air in jubilation. He has got the job done, and he is the champion in his rookie campaign. The 16-year-old has been superlative all the way through this season. Right from the start of the year, he was consistent and strong. And now he has got himself into a phenomenal position. And what a terrific display it has been from this young Italian. But the Spanish driver is the one who comes through at the top of his game here in this race, as Pepe Marti takes his second win of the season for the Pinnacle Van Amersfoort racing team here in Yas Marina. A charge through to the victory for Pepe Marti. Procedure, put the steering wheel on, clamber on, and enjoy. A brilliant moment for Pepe Marti. This kid is going places. Even last year when he was in the Formula Regional Asian Championship, we thought, hello, this kid's a bit special. This year, he stepped it up even more. 2 race wins, despite missing round 3 at Kuwait. This kid's got magic written all over him. But the champion is down at Mumbai Falcons. The young man from Bologna, 16 years of age, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, seals the Formula Regional Middle East Championship title in fine fashion. It wasn't the easiest championship to win by a long stretch. But then in 2023, in this category, nothing has been straightforward. Nothing has been easy. It has been nail-biting right to the bitter end. Pepe Marti soaks in the spoils of the moment. A great victory and a great result. Second place for Michael Shin, and that is a very worthy effort for him. Kirill Smal in third, ahead of Joshua Dufek and Lorenzo Flusha. Nikolaj Solov will come home in sixth place once Kamara's penalty is applied. Nikil Bora and Martinius Stenchon will be ahead of Taylor Barnard and Nikita Bedrin, I believe, in the points, unless there is another investigation into Taylor Barnard's incident. But what a sensational end to the season. So, down in the pit lane, Feline Wang has made her way to the throng, and Pepe Marti, in fantastic fashion, is our race winner, and the Pinnacle Van Amersfoort racing driver from Spain can enjoy the moment with Feline Wang down in pit road here at Yas Marina.
So Pepe, congratulations, second win of the season, and tell us the battle between you and Michael.
Yeah, it was a really interesting race, really hard. Obviously, fighting at the beginning, did a great start, passed two guys on the outside as well, so I was pretty insane. Then, yeah, great battle with Nico, great battle with Kirill, and lastly with Michael. Everything was so on the limit. Obviously, I had a really big hit on the curb on the exit of C9. I think something was wrong in the car after that because I felt such a weird vibration. So I'm pretty sure something's quite broken. But yeah, it was just great. I mean, really good race, really fast, and just being able to come through the field is what I wanted to do the whole season. And obviously, to be able to do it, even if it's this late, and obviously not in a championship charge, it's a really good feeling. And winning like this in this fashion, you know, coming from behind and having to push, catch, and all of that was just great. Just a good, really good race. Just really, really happy.
Yeah. We also enjoy watching. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
那刚刚我问到佩佩呢，这也是他在本赛季得到的第2场冠军。他也提到呢，这个没有办法参加全赛季，然后也没有办法呢参加总冠军的竞争，有点遗憾。不过呢，能在这一场能拿到冠军也非常的开心。同时呢，在7号弯在压了路肩之后，他的车整个的平衡也都不太好，所以说呢，他驾驶起来有点奇怪。不过呢，非常开心，在他最后呢还是能拿到冠军。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. Great to hear from our victor, Pepe Marti, who has done a sensational job in the penultimate race of the season. But we have a new champion. It wasn't the most straightforward battle for the title, but it was very fitting of a season that had absolutely everything crammed into it. What a year it's been. Either of them going to get the win? Let's find out. A good start from Shin. It looks like Barnard didn't move. Barnard didn't move, and now he's dropped to the back. That's disastrous for Taylor Barnard. The Frenchman. Oh, there's problems further up. I think that's Solov going a little bit deep. And as a result, he's going to lose traction and ground. Smell has got past into second. And Pepe Marti is going to get first in front of Aidan Neat and Niels Kuhlen on the first lap. Even his teammate Nikita Bedrin beat him off the line. Disastrous for Taylor Barnard. Whoa! Nikolaj Solov goes off on the curve. So down to the braking zone. Montoya under some tricky manoeuvring from Sami Megatuniv, who's trying to go the long way round the outside. And a big lock-up. And Solov trying to hang on in front of Josh Dufek. Kirill Smal sets the fastest lap of the race to close up on Shin, but Solov is trying to go the long way round Josh Dufek. Tightening up, that's Nikil Bora and Lorenzo. And down the drop. Approaching Ferrari World in the distance. It is a bit of a roller coaster, this section. Oh, and off into the curbs. That was a big airborne moment. The contender's in trouble in this first race of the day. Kamara battling his way through, and no more room to play with for Nikil Bora. Oh, and a spin! Cars going everywhere. Bit of a late braking there from Nikita Bedrin, and two cars going a little bit deep. That is Brad Benavides due to get out with Tazu de Fubazak, I do believe, in front of Kirill Smal and Pepe Marti. Through they come. And Michael Shin is doing a fabulous job. He's just posted... Oh, spin! A spin! Now, let's have a look at it. Was he assisted? He was! And that is... Sammy now just 7/10 of a second. But the Prema driver, Michael Shin, is doing everything he can to hang on to this victory. Oh, and that's Sebastian Montoya. Now Montoya now just 7/10 of a second. But the Prema driver, Michael Shin, is doing everything he can to hang on to this victory. Oh, and that's Sebastian Montoya. Now Montoya was Antonelli up the inside. And they've tied on Michael Shin. They go side by side in the braking zone. Marty trying to outbrake Shin. Shin's trying to hold on to it and move to cover. And more drama. Here's Kirill Smal. A fabulous run for the youngster for the Mumbai Falcons team. Third position for him. Second place for Michael Shin. What a great run. And an epic performance from the Prema driver. Very impressed indeed with him. But the win goes the way of Pepe Marti with the Pinnacle Van Amersfoort Racing team. And the Spanish charge really can soak up this moment. He's done an amazing job. He totally deserves the accolades for this. His second win in as many weeks. And he cannot stop grinning from ear to ear. He takes this confidence and this form into his Formula 3 campaign later this year. Kirill Smal and Michael Shin taking very worthy podium finishes. But Pepe Marti taking the victory overall. Michael Shin gets the rookie victory, his first rookie win in the category. A fabulous display here from the penultimate race of the Formula Regional Middle East Championship season, but do not fear, folks, there is still another race to come, as we will have a no-holds-barred thrash to end the season. Pepe Marti can enjoy the moment with his colleagues on the podium, and as they celebrate, we are gearing up ready for race 3 later this afternoon, which will finish a brilliant weekend at Yas Marina. From Feline Wang down in the pits, from myself, Jake Sanson in the commentary box, and the whole of the crew trackside, we hope you've enjoyed it. We have a new champion, but the season isn't quite finished yet. Join us for race 3 later this afternoon.
Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps. It's not between two teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players, but also their machines. Sweat, not in the jerseys, but in their gears.